Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So tonight, I'm going back to the basics. I just want to answer questions about Bitcoin and crypto. You know, I've been doing so many of these streams and basically doing a lot of Q&A, but noticing there's a lot of people that just has simple questions. Things that they just don't know. So that's what today's stream is all about. Just going over the basics, talking about the fundamentals, talking about some of the things that you may be afraid to ask. Well, this stream is time. It's time for you to ask that so you could get a better understanding of just what the hell is going on. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams every day. 11:30 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that like button, smash up the subscribe. No, I said that wrong. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, smash up the like, and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All right, guys, let's do this. I have nothing to show you tonight. No questions about random shit coins. Okay, I said it. Let's stick to the basics. If you have general questions about Bitcoin, crypto overall, let's get them out. Let me answer them. Let's stay with the basics. Let's not do too many altcoin, reviews, because I think I just want to reserve this for the general people, the general public, the retail investors that just came aboard. All right, let's do this. Well, before you guys could start asking your questions, but right now Bitcoin's right at $50,000, right? So this afternoon, Bitcoin went up to 51, and now it's back to 50. So we're kind of hovering there, right? So going to this weekend, let's see what happens. The stock market ended pretty well today in the green territory, and Bitcoin started coming up, right? We know there's a lot of FUD about the capital gains tax proposal, but still we're getting over that, and Bitcoin overall is in recovery mode right now. So we'll see what happens tomorrow and this weekend. I'm thinking it's going to be good because we had a pretty sizable correction, and there's really nothing holding us back until next week, where we may have some turbulence with futures and options expiration, but maybe not, because today we already had one. So we'll just have to see. We'll take it one day at a time. This is why I'm streaming every single day. All right, let's do the Q&A. What are your favorite coins for this year outside the top 100 CMC? Well, I can tell you one right off the bat is Nulls. Nulls is out of the top 100. They are above. Well, they were above $1. Unfortunately, they fell below $1 again. So unfortunately, that happened. But Nulls is a project I supported since 2017. They're a smart contract play. And they have a very promising blockchain with interoperability, with smart contracts, obviously, but also involved with many different DeFi and NFTs, and they're onboarding a lot of new projects all the time. So outside of the top 100, they definitely come to mind right away. But there's also a lot, like KuCoin shares, KuCoin token of KuCoin. They fell out of the top 100. They're definitely one to hold, because I believe that KuCoin is going to go far. So they're another one. There's another one. Billy asks, why does CNBC keep promoting bitter Bitcoiners and Peter Schiff? Because they're trying to take this neutral stand. So usually they bring on a Bitcoin bull, and then they bring on a Bitcoin bear, and then they usually have them talk. But unfortunately, sometimes They can't find good people, so they just find anyone with some kind of name recognition. And sometimes when you have one side, being a good bear, but then you can't get a good bull, right? So that's why I'm putting this out there. If CNBC or any of you guys know anyone from CNBC and they want a good guest like myself, I will come on the show and I will defend Bitcoin to the best of my ability. So I'm just throwing that out there. But sometimes they just can't find good people. And sometimes they ask people that's really well known, but they have no clue about Bitcoin, so they can't answer it well. All right, Dong Z asks, if you purchase things using crypto without converting to fiat first, does that mean you have to pay capital gains tax? Yes. That's one of the fundamental things. This is why a lot of people think the tax code, at least in the US, is screwed up with Bitcoin, is even if you buy, let's say, coffee with Bitcoin or crypto, that's a taxable event. Then you have to calculate how much gains you had with that Bitcoin that you used to buy the coffee. So unfortunately, that's the thing. You convert to stable coins, that's a taxable event. You trade from Bitcoin to Ethereum, that's a taxable event. Everything outside of you just holding it is a taxable event. So just keep that in mind. Evan asks, why are central banks around the world not getting together to slow down or stop crypto when it's direct assault on them? You know what? They may view it as a non-threat, or you know, they're just basically recognizing that they can't stop it, or maybe they don't want to stop it. That's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of speculation right now, right? But you know, a lot of central banks or prominent financial people have come out and said, you know what, Bitcoin is an asset. It's not money. It doesn't compete with our fiat. And that's the most important thing. And that's the thing that Michael Saylor was also arguing, right? If it was a direct competitor to, say, the USD or yuan or anything, they would have a bigger problem with that. But it's not. They view it as an asset, which, you know what, competes with gold. But I don't really think they view it as a threat. So that's the thing. That's my opinion. It's official. I not get into my ledger. Major issues. If you had $1,000 left, what would you do? I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened with you, but if you have $1,000 left, I would say just throw it. Throw it into Bitcoin and just leave it and forget it. You know, if you're not going to be putting any more money into it, which sounds like you're not, just put into Bitcoin and just hang on. Hang on for the next 5-10 years. That 1,000 could turn into 100,000, you know, $1 million someday. Just leave it. But I would suggest not giving up. I would suggest, you know how rewarding it's been. So I would suggest keep at it. It sucks. I don't know how much you lost, but it kind of sucks. Are we correcting, consolidating? Are we still on a bull run? Yes. Jesus, we are still definitely on a bull run. There's many times when we have corrections or consolidation periods. It's always been like that with the last 11 years. Bitcoin doesn't just do this. Okay, if it just did that, we would be at like $1 billion already. So it goes up, down a little bit, up, down. It comes in waves, right? But overall, we're still doing this. So this is the fourth year of, you know, a 4-year cycle. And that's usually when it's the most parabolic. And we have seen some tremendous moves since January. How do you estimate a project's future market cap? It's anyone's guess, but you can, I guess the best way to look at it is, well, is there a competitor and how big is the competitor? So if they're a newcomer trying to take down or compete with someone that already exists, then you could evaluate it that way, right? But of course, there's other factors at play. Is the team the same? Is it strong, right? Do they have the same kind of traction? Are they on the same exchanges? That also makes a huge difference. A project that's on Binance versus a project that's not on Binance is a big difference in terms of how pumpable it is. So, thoughts on synthetic? David asks, is it me or it's just undervalued? I don't think it's undervalued because there's a lot of projects that's into synthetic creations right now. There's a lot. So I think it's about right. Any reads or guides for chart analysis? There's a ton out there. You probably won't find it specifically for crypto, but look at chart analysis for stocks. And they apply to crypto, although they don't apply nearly as much because crypto is highly volatile and moves much faster. And you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right? So I'm sure there's a lot of guides you can find out there. Sean asks, why and how is ADA rising against BTC now? Things come in spurts. Things can come in spurts. Right now, it's not really. Even though today it's not doing as bad, but look at the week performance. You know, it's actually lower than Bitcoin, right? So sometimes big caps definitely are stronger than Bitcoin, but sometimes they are not. Sometimes they're equal. You know, there's just different spurts. What else is there? So I'm reading these like out of order because they're kind of messed up here. All right, here's the next one. If fiat, stock market, and crypto is so correlated, and that means if one goes, they all go, or one can crash and the other excel. It could. See, this is what we haven't been tested yet in terms of crypto versus the stock market. It's a correlated, it's uncorrelated. For the most part, they're correlated. But there are times, of course, there's movement where stock market goes up, crypto doesn't move, or stock market goes down, it doesn't move. There are uncorrelating periods. But right now, we haven't had a true big recession where the stock market kept crashing and Bitcoin stalled and went up. We haven't been tested yet, but we're getting there. As Bitcoin's market cap and as the crypto market cap overall gets bigger and bigger and bigger, it becomes less volatile, and then it can stand on its own and decouple. But we haven't been tested yet because last year's recession really wasn't a recession. With all the cash injections, everything that has just kept going up. Do you think 2 or 3 trillion market cap for ETH is possible within the next 5 to 10 years? I think so, as long as they can stay ahead of the game. That's the problem. They need their ETH 2.0 to come out fast, and they need to scale. Otherwise, other competitors are just going to eat their lunch, right? But if they could stay on top of it and they still have institutional interest, then of course they could rise much higher within the next 5 to 10 years. But who knows what's going to be in 5 to 10 years? The blockchains then are generation 4 or generation 5, and they can have many, many advantages. So it really depends on if Ethereum can keep its network effect, keep its leading position. What's your price target on VET? Very, very high. Very, very high. Let's just say top 5. Top 5. Wherever it may be by the end of the year. Wrench, I don't even know how to answer that question, so I'm just going to skip it. Did you hear about VChain's AMA next week? No, I didn't. Good for them. Viking, appreciate it. I got liquidated, lost 4/5 of my money. Ouch. Finally listened to you and leaving leverage. If you stick to 25, 50, 25, 25 rule with 10K, how much could you see that turn by the end of 2021? It could turn drastic. I mean, it could be 10x, it could be 20x, it could be 50x. I mean, just gauging by the last 3 months, it has been, probably 3 to 4x just by following that rule. So it could be tremendous. And I'm sorry to hear that, but unfortunately that's a lesson every newcomer needs to learn is they come in and they want to make quick bucks because they feel like, oh, everyone is so wealthy already, I need to catch up or I need to become a millionaire. And then you start watching videos of all these gurus that'll show you all these things and say, okay, this has to be it. I'm making so much money using leverage until they get liquidated, but they don't tell you. And then you find out the hard way. And then getting liquidated is really tough. All that hard-earned money, it could be your entire savings. It could be gone in an instant, and you can't recover. If you buy something and it goes down, for example, you buy Bitcoin, it's down 19%. You don't really lose it until you sell it. It can always come back. You get liquidated, there's no chance of coming back. And then a lot of times, some people learn a lesson. Some people will continuously to do it to try to make it back and dig themselves into a deeper hole. So this is why leverage is very, very, very dangerous. So be careful. But yeah, following the rule, it works. It has worked for me for many years. It has worked for everyone else that has followed it. So Kian asked, bought Harmony at top. What's one's long-term future? Should I wait? I would wait. I think Harmony is a promising blockchain with a good leader, and they're still making good partnerships and good traction. So I do think they're going to come back. What are your thoughts on Dogecoin's chart compared to XRP? I mean, both of those should not be charted, in my opinion. They're two of the most pumped big caps of all time. So there's really no need to look at TA for those two coins. What else is there? Hello, George. I understand safest way to keep crypto is taking out of exchange and transfer a hard wallet, but network fees are so high for someone who's new to the space. Yeah, that's an unfortunate thing. You know, if you need to transfer, I mean, it's one thing, but if you're trying to put on cold storage, unfortunately, there's some fees. There's some fees, right? But you know what? If you're on a reputable exchange, you know, like Coinbase, Gemini, Binance, turn on F2A, two-factor authentication. At least they'll get you protected until you have enough to transfer out. That's what I would suggest. But obviously, getting it off is the safest thing. Can you create a video explaining differences and purposes between different types of coins so I can relate it better? That's complicated, maybe, but there's every project has a different use case. Some are utilities, some are currency, some are store values. So it's kind of hard to have an encompassing video about that. If ETH2 is successful, will the other projects have place? Yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean that one thing is going to dominate all. Even the Ethereum 2 is successful does not mean Binance Smart Chain is going to go away, or does not mean Cardano or Polkadot is dead. No, there will be enough space for multiple chains and multiple projects. That's for sure. Do you think BNB will outperform ETH in the short term? Yeah, I think so. The only thing that may change the tides is Ethereum now is Ethereum ETFs. So maybe some institutional investors get in and pump them more. But I think Binance will flip with Ethereum by the end of the year. That's just me. Morningstar candle pattern. Okay, 47. If you say so, man. No, I'm not gonna talk about SaveMoon because it is something that you should avoid. 25, 25, 50 explanation. 25% in small caps, 25% in big caps, and 50% in Bitcoin. Big caps is anything above 10 billion. So there's quite a lot these days. So anything from, you could really count Theta. Theta is a big cap. So Theta and Solana, even Filecoin, are close enough. These are all big caps. Anything above is big caps. You add them for stability, but you also add them for growth, right? But they're less risky and more stable than, say, small caps. So Creative Wit, appreciate that. Thoughts on Pokedex? Looks promising to me. I have not looked up Lit before. I have. I just haven't done a deep dive, so can't really comment on them. All right. Any other basic questions here? Like I said, this stream is to answer the most basic questions for new people, not really to look at new small cap coins. So any other questions? Is XRP on BlockFi? No, it is not. It is not. The best way to earn interest on BlockFi is actually stable coins, but they do accept, Bitcoin, of course, Ethereum, Litecoin, Chainlink, and a whole bunch of stable coins. Undervalued large cap or big cap coins, pretty much all of them, because they're all on a discount right now. So they're all looking pretty good. Anytime something's down like 10, 15, 20%, I say that's a pretty good bargain. Does not mean that you want to go all in. But, to dollar cost average, to buy a little bit, right, would not be a bad idea. That's what dollar cost averaging is. You dollar cost average over a long haul, and then you bring your cost average down on that, and then when it comes back up, you gain. It's just like that. Gate.io, Bitforex, I would say Gate.io I've used before, Bitforex I have not. So yeah. Are EMAs more useful than others? Are some EMA? I mean, for most part, people look at like the 20, 50, that's pretty useful. This is not coming up right now. But like here, you have the 20, 50, and 200. This is what a lot of people look at. Usually the 50 and 200 is when you can have a golden cross or a death cross, and that's kind of important, especially on longer term indicators. So you look at those kind of things. But there's a lot of people use others like the 10 or 30 or something like that. But 20, 50, and 200 is usually what most people use. Thoughts on ADA and best place to stake? There's a lot of pools, for ADA. A lot of people run pools, so you just have to find, and basically they all pay out the same thing. I forgot what, 5%, 5.5%. So just find one and just stake it in there. And there's other places that you could stake too. Affinity. If Engine controls Infinity NFT Gamer with Polkadot, what are the downsides? I don't even know. I'm not familiar. What percentage can alts like VChain fall in a bear market? They could fall 99%. A lot of them did. In 2018, 2019, a lot of these fell 96, 97, 98, 99%. A lot of them came back and formed new highs. These are the ones that people love. They've been executing. They have good leadership, and they never gave up, and they all came back. But in a bear market, things could fall very fast. Very fast. I mean, even Bitcoin fell 86%. Would it be a good idea to see BTC drop to low 40s before loading up on alts? Would you start averaging? No. BTC doesn't mean... Okay, BTC falls to 40s, which... I don't think it's going to fall to low 40, but let's just say I'm wrong. But I mean, you could load up alts anytime you want, right? There are periods where alts are strong, like right now. Look at BTC Dominance at 50. Oops, I realized I didn't change my screen the whole time. So I apologize. I just realized I didn't change my screen the whole time. Anyways, hopefully you guys still enjoy me talking. Bitcoin Dominance at 50.6%. Back in the day, it's above 60%, right? Still shows you alts are gaining on Bitcoin. So sometimes they're stronger, sometimes they're not. Do you think all these new coins being pumped and dumped are going to affect crypto's future? No. It's always been like that. Every cycle, there's always altcoins that get pumped and dumped. There's always altcoin season. But the ones that are truly working on building something better, they will stand. And I think 2020 and 2021 is a perfect example of that. You have a lot of projects that stand on their own that's a counterpart to a centralized system, and people are actually utilizing it. So there's a lot of use cases, and that's why right now it's very different than 2017 and all the other cycles before. So yeah. Thoughts on social coins? Rally looks interesting. You know what? My George coin is on Rally, right? So they help creators and athletes and anyone else. If they want to create a coin, they can. And they told me that they're working on NFTs as well. So that's pretty big. Yeah, I think I actually really like him. And Kevin, I believe, I think it's Kevin, who is the CEO. He's very, very, very experienced guy. Do you think Flex has no competition? I think they do have some competition, but you know what? I think they have good partnerships already, good retailers, so they could definitely go far. Once the economy really opens up, right? Then people get out and start using it. Then it's gonna be much better. Do you think Coin Market Calendar is good to research coins and upcoming? Yeah. This is great. CMC, and then you have C Coin Market Cal. If I could spell. This is a great place. This is crowdsourced though, so it's not 100% accurate. A lot of this is from like Twitter and stuff, which tends to change, but it gives you a good idea of what's coming with some of your favorite projects and so forth. Good way to research it. I've used this many times in the past. Liquidity. I don't know it. Today I'm not looking up small caps. Best app to track your crypto portfolio. There's a lot, like something like Delta app. CMC has their own now, but I've been using Delta app for years, and it's a pretty good one. But there's a few out there. In your opinion, in 10 years, what could 250K portfolio of 150? It doesn't matter what you say, but in 10 years, what could it turn into? It could turn into, easily $2.5 million, maybe even $5 million or $10 million. I honestly believe that because a lot of these will go up very, very far. I mean, that's 2 cycles. That's almost 3 cycles from here. How much of your portfolio is in Chainlink? I haven't counted. It's okay. It's significant. Not the greatest. But it definitely makes up a good amount of my big cap portfolio. I don't know the exact amount. Theta is really good. Should I buy Dogecoin? I think Dogecoin, being up here, it has that critical mass. I don't think it's going to go down anymore. People that are expecting to fall back down to 1 cent or 5 cents, I just don't see that. I think it's going to hold above 20 cents. So I do think not having some Dogecoin in your portfolio is a mistake at this point. And same thing with XRP. Alts at Fortune 500 market caps. Why? Most are concepts. Your opinion? Because everything is overvalued in crypto. That's just how it is. I used to hate that. I just come to realize, you know what? That's just the way things are. That's why things move very fast. They can crash very fast, but they also move very fast because there's just a lot of liquidity that's splurling around, right? And this is crypto. That's just the way things are. How do you think about Versity? I think it's just okay. I don't see the big deal about Versity, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe they can form a partnership with Twitch or YouTube or something. But like to me, they're just, I don't know. It's not a big deal to me to be able to count views. Why does everyone keep asking about this? This is not the day to be asking me about random. It doesn't even show up. It says this. It's the wrong symbol that it gave me. Yeah, no. That is not right. All right, what else is there? NFT bought on Rarible could be sold on other platforms like Crypto.com. Can NFT be sold on? Yeah, you spelled platform wrong. It's very, very wrong, but it's okay. I understand. Yeah, a lot of NFTs could be moved from one platform to another. The one that most people go to is OpenSea. So OpenSea is the one that most people go to. What are the best resources that give signs on how large institutional investors moving? I use CryptoQuant. You look at exchange in or exchange out. That gives you a good indication. How do you know when it's time to sell all of a coin and take your losses? What are signs to look for? If there's a exit scam, the leader leaves suddenly, there's something going on, there's a vulnerability detected, those are time when you just need to cut your losses right away. But if it's just something that's just going down, you have to make a determination whether or not you should sell. Usually if you panic sell, you make a mistake. But if it's a really, really bad project, let's say you got into a pump and dump, one that you should have never have gotten in the first place, then you should have got out. You should have got out. Or you should get out, I should say. Thoughts on Cake DeFi? They have 37% for staking rewards and 100% for liquid mining. Here's the thing about PancakeSwap. They have the largest volume out there of any AMMs. They have more volume by themselves than the Ethereum combined. So I do like them quite a bit. I like them quite a bit. Let's just put it that way. Do you think Dogecoin can hit $100 this year? I do have something planned with Rally. So remember the Vegas party that I've been talking about? I'm still planning that. It's easier to plan now because now things are opening up. Before it's very hard. So I'm going to plan on doing something on Rally with Dogecoin and NFTs, possibly NFT ticketing system, so that I'm going to create a pretty good use case for it. So hang in there. Hang in there. What's your take on Litecoin? I'm not a fan of Litecoin. I don't like what Charlie did before, and quite honestly, if you're looking for store value, just go with Bitcoin. Just go with Bitcoin. It outperforms Litecoin in pretty much any time intervals. That's always, you know, just go with Bitcoin. Let's just put it that way. Anything else? Anything else? Zeppelin, the Dow, never heard of it, so not going to look at small caps today. John V, appreciate that. PDEX has to prove itself. Yep, they do. What do you think about crypto domain names and flipping them? I bought a few. I thought crypto.com was trying to prevent flippers, so I don't know. If they catch on, great. If they don't, I don't know. Everything is like .io right now. I don't really see any projects do like .crypto yet. So maybe one day. Maybe one day. Rodrigo, I don't like BTT. I don't like Justin, what he's doing with all the things under the Tron ecosystem. Just don't like it. Holochain's interesting. Holochain's interesting. They're DAG, smart contracts. They have decentralized storage. So they're getting into a few things. I've heard about DeFi also coming. So they're pretty good. They're pretty good. All right, guys. That's it. I'm feeling tired. I want to go watch Mortal Kombat. That got released on HBO today. So I'm gonna go look at that. Right now, Bitcoin was, right around 50,000. So we'll see what happens tomorrow and this weekend. Last few weekends, kind of iffy, but it's not always like that. We're coming off a pretty good correction. Some of the indicators show that Bitcoin is oversold, and plus the market, the broader market, shrugged off all this capital gains tax, talk. So you know what? It could be good, but maybe not. So we'll see. So tune in tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll reevaluate on how the market is doing. All right. Have a good night, guys. Smash the like, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.